Okay, my friend, this is your heads up to this. I guess it's another FMQ, slightly longer podcast, Mad World stuff, but it's all about my secret love affair. Not that one, that love of hypnosis, but my love affair, the love affair I have with Neuro-Linguistic Programming. What's that, Paul? It's called NLP. Don't worry about what it is. I'm going to tell you various stuff. And if you're new to this, okay, it'll be new. But if you've been listening to this podcast for a little while, you've been under the influence of NLP, my mistress, just as much as I have. Well, nearly. So I've been having a love affair with her for years. Have a listen after this.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, we're back again for another quick episode, sort of FMQ, come Mad World, it'll be what it'll be, I guess. So I hope you're really well. I hope you're mastering this time that you have. And I wanted to give you a little bit of more insight into my loves. Because I told you yesterday that I love hypnosis. And the weird thing about that love of hypnosis is it never died. Normally, things that I've got really involved with, I've been passionate about, and then it's disappeared, faded away. Hypnosis never did. But then again, I also have a mistress. What's that, Cluffy? Yeah, well, it's a sort of mistress, because 20 years ago, or just over 20 years now, I began this love affair with hypnosis. And then about 19 and a half years ago, I fell in love with something else. And that was NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. How to, program your mind, I guess, but there's so many different definitions. So, and I don't want to go through those because this is not a teaching. I will do it if we have to, or not if we have to, if we want to. But I just want to explain to you what I love about NLP. Because you see, again, this has never died from me. Just like hypnosis. I have books upon books from NLP authors and different processes and all those stuff. I've got videos on it. And the thing was, in those 19 and a half years, I have gone from that little old didn't know anything about it to knowing I didn't know anything about it to then knowing I knew about it, but I was a bit clunky and it was all very conscious to hopefully a little bit of mastery. Mastery going from practitioner to master prac and then on to becoming a trainer of NLP. And I think the reason it goes hand in hand with hypnosis is because the two guys who created this, two guys called Bandler and Grinder, well, they modelled a lot of this work on hypnotists and therapists. And the thing is, they are both, probably, certainly now, two of the best hypnotists in the world. And that's what I love about this, because I can watch their videos, I listen to recordings of their work, as well as work of other people, and it just gives me such a thrill. And the thing is, I don't know of any part of NLP that I don't love. Well, there's one little bit that I really didn't get. Well, I did get, but it didn't float my boat. It didn't give me the passion that the rest of everything else resonated really deeply with. There are things like the very first thing we ever learned was the presuppositions of NLP, some useful assumptions. And you know what? Those useful assumptions, well, they just guided me through a whole myriad of my life. Some issues, some creative thoughts and things like that. And in fact, I don't think we created it, well, I think we might have pinched a little bit of it, but we created in some way a very first exercise of Joseph, my youngest son, and mine, NLP training, practitioner training, doing an exercise with an issue and noticing how just focusing on 1, 2, or 3 of those presuppositions would change that issue, would give insight, would give some type of resolution. Certainly would give a direction to find the change. And that to me is absolutely awesome. And this is why we did it on the very first exercise, to show people the power of something so simple. And that's the bloody thing about NLP. It is simplicity. And in simplicity, there's genius. That's where I follow it. That's where I get this from. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there in the NLP world and a lot of this therapist type world who we talk about them. They're an arse sometimes. They want to take credit for developing things that they never developed. They change the terminology. They make it more difficult. But who cares? They can do their stuff. I'm not interested in them. I'm interested in my love for NLP, with NLP. The wonderful things such as anchoring. There's sub-modalities, there's different ways that you picture things in your mind or just outside your mind. And if you start to change them, change the position of that representation, how it changes the way you are. The communication model of NLP, where when you change one thing again, it changes your state, it changes your physiology, and it therefore changes your behavior. And loads of processes around there. We've talked about perceptual positions so many times here, and that's built from a lot of work by the great Robert Dilts, the guy I did my trainer's training with. He's inspired me to do so many things, but that perceptual position, seeing it through the eyes of yourself, seeing life through the eyes of somebody else, and then that meta view to see all things dispassionately, dissociated. There's a parts integration. Now, I've seen it taught, it was taught to me in such a funny way that it didn't make sense. Well, it did make sense, but it wasn't very powerful. Until my younger son, Joseph, showed me another way to use it. And then we developed it even further. And we've taken that process and made it into such a powerful process that people literally change within about 20 minutes. Massive changes for people. And that, to me, is awesome. Now, the things, I'll give you a few names that I just love to read about or read from. I've said Richard Bandler, John Grinder, they're the two originators. But you've got people like Robert Dilts, you've got Steve Andreas, bless him, he, rest in peace, he's gone. But his legacy, what a nice man he was, but his legacy of what he's brought to the world through NLP. And the thing is, with this and hypnosis, I get to see patterns. I get to see interventions. And I really find, I can't find anything that can't be helped, can't be just moved along, or in fact completely changed with NLP and hypnosis. I just haven't found anything yet. I've found so many things that you can change completely, and even if we can't, we've made things so much better. When people have got dis-ease, sometimes, you can't resolve that. They have to heal themselves, and if that's not going to happen, but you can make their life so much better, so much more comfortable. It's a massive wow. And that all comes, and a lot of it boils down to intention, and then mastery, knowing what to do and doing what you know, and making that unconscious. And I just find it so awesome. I mean, I'm not saying, that everyone ought to go for an NLP practitioner course. But if you did, and if you were thinking about it, really look at it really deeply. Because if you're like me, it will change your life. It did for me. It changed the life of three of my sons, because I've only got three, but they've all been on practitioner courses. Two of them have gone on to Master Prac. One of them has gone on to trainers. In fact, it was my younger son who went in and became a trainer before I did. I think he was a trainer at 19. Crazy age to become a trainer of NLP. And he was awesome. And he is awesome. They're all awesome. And they're using the skills of NLP. One of them doesn't know it, but he does. He's using it unconsciously and creating great changes in companies by solving problems, being able to see things from a different point of view, that perceptual positions, working on wonderful things. And now he's actually working on a course himself to get a work-life balance so he can share that type of work with other people. That's awesome. And I know it came from that little buzz of NLP. That's what I believe anyway. It is so powerful. And when you couple that up with your, curiosity, which is where this all started. NLP came with that wonderful sense of curiosity. How do you do that? Can I teach it? Can I break it down? Can I break what you did into a pattern, into a process, and teach it to other people? Modelling people who are just bloody good. And extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. Let's model that extraordinary behavior so we could take it on. Understanding how you can model a passion, your passion, and then put that passion, that process of being passionate into other areas of your life. So many different things you can do. So many things. People are taking it into the realms of anything and everything. And that's why I love it so much. Really do. As I said, I don't believe there is anything that can't be helped, that can't be changed for the better with NLP. And certainly you put NLP and hypnosis together and boom, you have got a recipe for success. You've got a recipe for creating the dreams that you want. You have the dream, and then with those processes and hypnosis, your unconscious mind, you're able to change anything, change the filters that used to create negative emotions and get you to behave and feel in such a different way, a better way, and to get you to keep learning and learning. There you go. That's one of my passions. Sometimes you say, follow your passion, and then you think, well, I wonder what my passion is. I wonder what it is. And sometimes it's hiding in bloody plain sight, right in front of your bloody eyes, Cluffy. It's hypnosis, it's NLP, but it's what you do with it. How you can create things, how you create things in yourself, how you change things in yourself. It was only this morning where instead of getting up, I woke up really early and I had this little thought, this little issue I've been working on myself. It's quite a big issue. And I thought, that's it. A little bit of hypnosis, self-hypnosis, and a wonderful NLP process. And I know it's going to make a difference. And I intend to make it so. So that's my mistress. The love affair I have with NLP and hypnosis. There'll be more to come, but I don't want to swamp with this. Maybe you want to be swamped by this. But I thought I'd just give you an indication of, it's all about my personal story, I guess. Because I want you to know the type of person I am. If you're new to this, then it'll be obviously informative. If you've been with me for a long time, you'll probably know some of this stuff, but I just wanted to share it a little bit more deeply with you and maybe inspire you. Not to necessarily look for NLP hypnosis, but if you did, it would be awesome. But just to look for the things that spark your passion, the things that resonate. We're actually going to do a process on this in the future. I've got it in my mind of what we can do, what we'll talk about. We'll dive deeply, and then we'll do a hypnosis session with an NLP process all intertwined of just another session, another process, another way of finding and using your passion. Because it's there. Sometimes it just hides in plain bloody sight. Anyway, I'm not hiding. I'm with you, and I'll be with you, it looks like every day for the next week or so. See if we can find things to talk about, things to dive into. Trying to keep them pretty short, but they'll get a little bit longer now as, all the jobs that we've done are being done. And therefore we've got a little bit of time, hopefully a little bit of time that we can put aside to focus deeply on with the positive intention of creating the life we want. Encourage your dreams. To justify the reasons why you didn't maybe have those dreams already. To know that this is all a learning curve. And now you're going to learn to take that another step, to go through that familiar zone, that comfort zone into another area of your life where you could be a little bit uncomfortable, but you're not going to be frightened. You're going to enjoy everything about it. And those naysayers, they're just going to fall by the wayside. You're going to confirm their suspicions that you're on the right path. You're going to make a difference. Because that's what it's all about here. Personal Development Unplugged. Breaking down processes, complicated patterns in life into easy to follow processes. Deconstruct them. Deconstruct what people are doing. Those extraordinary behaviors of ordinary people, just like you and I. So we can use them ourselves in our own way. Not necessarily the same way, but we will develop ourselves in a similar way that will really create that reality that we long for. I long for it. I know the reality out there is not what I want yet. And it never will be. And that's the best thing about it, because it never will be. Because whatever you think you are, whatever you think there is, there's always more. You're always more. You're more than that. And every thought you have, you're even more than that. Which means you're going to create even a better reality. And a reality that everyone else can share with, because that's what it's all about. At the end, you put all those hypnosis, NLP, every wonderful therapy, every wonderful process, it's all part of selfless service, to serve other people, to allow them to have a great life, because in doing so, you'll get that great life too, because that's just what happens. It's the law of that's what happens. It's Cluffy's law of, well, that's what happens, okay? So you can have that for free. So until next time, till tomorrow, I guess, enjoy, read up on NLP, look for the names, people like Richard Bandler, John Grinder, Robert Dilts, Steve Andreas, so many more people. Just watch out for the fake gurus, okay? The people who keep saying they invented things because they didn't. But hey, there's always someone. And if you want some advice about that, please do email me and I'll send you like a little book list or maybe something like that, something where you can really find some good work to really give you a real background, honest background. You know where that is? That's feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Comes to me, doesn't go anywhere else. Obviously, if you want to come on my list, you sign up to the hypnosis tracks. That's at paulcloughonline.com/podcast. You obviously get access to 46 hypnosis tracks, all downloadable. And you come on my list, and my list gets, I'm hoping to actually start a newsletter. Not too many, not going to overflow in your inbox, but just a few with a few recommendations, a few thoughts that I have, and reminders of what's happening here. Okay? So until that time, I will see you the next time. Have more fun than you can stand. Enjoy every heartbeat. And let's live with so much passion. More passion than you can stand. Okay. Bye-bye now. Thanks for listening, guys. That was really good. I really appreciate you being here. And I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. A couple of favors, really. In as much as I'd like you to share this podcast. Share it in a few ways. One is I'd like you to just share it with your friends. Share it with people that you know. Anybody you think it may help. Because that would be awesome. Spreading the word. Spreading the community of this Personal Development Unplugged. Also, I'd like you to share your thoughts with me. Share your thoughts, your feedback, the things you enjoyed, the things you'd like me to do differently, the things you'd like me to explore even deeper, maybe more things like depression, loneliness, or happiness, or good stuff. They're all good. But if there's things you'd like to give me feedback on, that would be awesome. Just email me at feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Anything and everything would be awesome. And if I use it, obviously, total anonymosity. Anonymosity? You'll be anonymous. Also, if you could just go to the platform that you listen to this podcast on and give a review, if you would. On iTunes, there's a capability of giving a 5-star review. That would be awesome. And just subscribe on any of those platforms so you get them on a Wednesday, get them on a Saturday, and you don't have to look for them. Get other people to subscribe. That would be great, because that helps push this around to other people too. And as you know, as always, I have a different set of programs on a website called paulcloughonline.com. Got lots of different stuff that, I know you have to pay for, but that's just a different thing. They're more involved, they're more detailed, and they're more structured. Just have a look at the website and the programs on offer. I think you'll find they're of interest. You've even got one which has its own 5-day free start, as it were. And sometimes you even just let go of your anxiety listening to those 5 days. Have a listen to that. And lastly, and not leastly, those hypnosis tracks. Just go along to that paulcloughonline.com/podcast and you'll have access to all the hypnosis tracks that have been produced for this podcast. They're all there. They're all in order. They're all numbered and they're downloadable. You don't have to search through 300 odd podcasts to find the hypnosis track you want. They're all there. And you might find something even that you didn't think of. And it's just right for you now. So do that, have more funding stand, and I'm going to be speaking to you real soon. But thank you for your time.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.